Everybody, welcome to yet another hip replacement kind of update. So, a lot of you have viewed my recent update on my revision and just having to go back just 2 months after my first replacement to have my hip revised. So, I had the revision last Thursday. And basically, what the surgeon did was he reopened up my incision, cleaned out the hematoma, got rid of a lot of the fluid, replaced the ball, replaced the cup, just kind of got some of the components fresh, just in case there was some lurking bacteria. Closed me up, and then I stayed in the hospital a few days. One of the plans was to work with infectious disease just in the event that there was an infection. So they cultured a lot of that fluid, the hematoma, they put it all in a little petri dish in the hospital. And so far, nothing's really growing. They indicated to me that it could take up to a month for something to grow. So they're treating me with antibiotics just in the event that something is going to grow. So here's where the complications came up. They opted to do a PICC line to attack those potential bacteria the best way through IV antibiotics. So a PICC line is the IV that goes into your upper arm and it leads right into your heart area. So I got the PICC line put in on Saturday. And on Sunday, I noticed I started to have a tremendous amount of swelling in my arm. So being a person that's pretty aware of their body, very aware of their body, I knew something was wrong. So I walked down to the nurse's station, said my arm is really swollen, it doesn't feel right. And they immediately pulled in the people and discovered through ultrasound that I had a blood clot in my arm, which is a huge bummer. And I have a history of blood clots. I'm on a blood thinner. So for this to happen was pretty devastating. I was discharged on Monday. So I was basically in the hospital 5 days for this revision slash infection. And I came home late Monday and things were okay. I felt like my hip felt pretty good. It actually felt better than it had since my first replacement. So I really felt like this is good. And then I had to begin the IV infusions on my own at home, which means I was injecting into my arm, PICC line, and two strong antibiotics. So I have a dear friend who's a nurse. She came over. She walked me through it. She did it the first time just because I was really scared. And everything was good. She left, and I looked down at my arm, and it was incredibly swollen. So I ended up going to the emergency room, and it was discovered that I have not just one blood clot in my arm, but I have multiple clots in my arm. There's a lot between my wrist and my elbow. And so that's where all the swelling was. And then I have a couple up the top. So they immediately felt like the PICC line was causing more of a risk than a potential benefit of these antibiotics. So they pulled the PICC line out, which I was so relieved. And now it's Friday. It's been a week and a day since my revision. My hip's really cranky. It's really sore. And so here's what I'm doing because I live in that lens of mindfulness and yoga lifestyle and living the principles of yoga and attempting to just trust. Like, this is the biggest practice in trust, trusting my body, trusting people, trusting a process. And what I've been doing in the last 24 hours, 48 hours, a little bit since my surgery, but really, really honing in on it the last 2 days, is I am having a conversation with my body that the hip that's in there is good. The hip that's in there is safe and it's helpful and it's of benefit, and to accept it. I feel like my body's at war with itself. And that's very common when someone has an autoimmune disease, that the body just goes into this hyperactive mode and it's reacting right now. And what we know when we live the yoga lifestyle is that a reaction usually includes force, a reaction. Action is part of that word. I don't want my body to be in reaction. I want my body to be in response. And response is a much softer way of dealing with anything. So if we think about our life out in the world, somebody triggers us, an event upsets us, we react to it, we usually react to it with force, whether that's an emotional outburst, it's walking away, it's slamming a door, there's an action to it. And a response is really looking for a solution. It's looking for a softer way to accept, to be, to lean into it. And so, especially, I mean, think about this: firefighters, police officers, they are known as first responders. They go towards the trouble with the intent to help. And so I'm really trying to let my body respond to the hip, respond to the blood clots instead of react. So I'm having a lot of conversations with my beautiful body and saying, it's okay. It's okay. Just do the work. So that's where I'm at now. I go back to my surgeon next week to look at my incision, make sure that it's healing properly. I had a lot of reactions to the tape, to the plastics, to the tubings, to the dressings. My body's just mad. And now that it's over, I'm telling her to shift into acceptance, shift into healing. And she's still mad, but I'm wanting my body to not be so mad. So I'm sitting in the sun today, got my beautiful yard. It's greening up. Birds are coming. Seeds are happening. There's little bits of growth. And every time I'm out in nature, whether it's just noticing that little bit of green up there in that elm tree, I'm reminded of progress. And it may take a long time for me to have progress with this hip. And I'm in it for the long haul. I totally trust my surgeon. I trust my medical team. I'm grateful for all my friends near and far that have shown up for me in tremendous ways through this process. I've got my handy dandy sleeve, compression sleeve, to help comfort those blood clots and not let them do what they don't want to be doing, like just stay there. So I'm wearing my compression sleeve. It actually feels amazing. It kind of is like a gentle hug. And I'm just hanging out and I'm enjoying the sunshine, enjoying my home, and trusting. So if you're going through something hard and you want to react to it, I would just invite you to respond to it, and respond to it in a softer way. Talk to your body, talk to the situation, journal about it, do some affirmations. Every day, my affirmations is I am accepting and I am healing. And I just live there. And to me, that's a response versus a reaction. So try it. Let me know how it's going for you. A lot of you have written to me, which is amazing. I hope that your process through healing is going well, and that you're also responding to the newness of having something new in your body. So that's it. I've got some more things coming. I don't know where this is going to lead me in my life and in my work life. I'm just responding, and I'm allowing. Allowing is a big thing right now. So the ups and the downs, I think initially my hip felt great. I'm not so sure. Today's a hard day. It's incredibly painful. My arm is very, very painful. And we'll see what happens. I don't know if this is a big shakeup in the world of my life, of what I need to be looking at and doing differently in my life. Perhaps it is. So for now, I don't know. I'm hopefully gonna be teaching Earth Day yoga next weekend, I believe, on the 20th. If I can talk, I can teach. That's my motto. So we'll see. We'll see. Not sure when I'll be back doing my dementia work, but I got some good videos coming. So hang in there with me. Let me know how you're doing. I'd love to know how your process is and how you're dealing with the hardships of life. Because really, we're connected. We're in it together. And I appreciate you watching. I appreciate the amazing messages. And keep watching. There's more to come. And I'll see you soon. Take care. Have a beautiful day of responding.